Hello everybody, Dave here, and welcome to my next Gunpla build. In today's build, I am building the Gundam MK-II, the Titans variant. This is another real grade at 144 scale, encompassing the real thing. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let us begin the build. The Gundam MK-II, or as I will refer to it as the MK-II, or the G MK-II, is classified as a prototype general purpose mobile suit. The model number given to the mobile suit was RX-178. The official name, of course, is Gundam MK-II. Its overall height is 19.6 meters. That's 64.304 feet, or 771.654 inches. The base weight without any weapons or weapons attached is 33.4 tons, and the total weight with everything equipped is 54.1 tons. The power source is a Monosky ultra-compact fusion reactor, the generator output of which is 1930 kilowatts. That's 2,588.172 horsepower. The armor material is a titanium alloy with ceramic composite embedded. The total thrust is 4 times 220,300 kilograms of thrust. The altitude control vectors is 10, maximum acceleration of 1.50 g, with an effective sensor range of 11,300 meters. Crew is piloted by one pilot in the linear seat cockpit, which is embedded in the torso. This mobile suit was manufactured by the Titans, developed from the RX-178 0X prototype Gundam MK-II and the RX-121 Gundam TR-1 Hazel. There were 3 units produced of the Gundam MK-II. It was first deployed in December of 0086 of the Universal Century, and was last seen in 0089 of the Universal Century. The operators of the mobile suit were the Earth Federation Forces, the Titans, and the Anti-Earth Union Group, also known as A.E.U.G. The known pilots of the Gundam MK-II are Edmund Egger Smith, Camille Basin, Emma Sheen, Quattro Bajak, Kaz Kobayashi, Jez Messiah, Karen Kula, Franklin Bayon, Ellie Virgo, Mano Akaki, Shara Sun, Belech Olga, Ilo Puro, Azu Element, Rox Lulukia, and Jack Bernard. The equipment was standard movable frame and a pyromatic cockpit, with the options of having flying armor and a FXA-05D G Defender or diffuser. The standard armaments were 2 beam sabers, a beam rifle, shield as standard. Optional extras were the VCU 505 EX GUY version .009 60mm 2-barrel Vulcan pods. Additional handheld were the A.E.U.G BAS 531 Clay bazooka, which was later changed to a 360mm Hyper bazooka. In the TV series, it first aired in Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam Episodes 1, till episode 50. It was also featured in Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta, and of course Gundam Build Fighters. It had an OVA called Evolve, which it was featured in. In the paper mangas, it was featured in Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta 1/2 AS and Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam Definite. The games that the Mobile Suit has been in Mobile Suit Gundam Encounters in Space, Mobile Suit Gundam Gundam vs Zeta Gundam, Destiny Warriors Gundam 2, and Destiny Warriors Gundam Reborn. The RX-178 Gundam Mark II is a mobile suit that appears in the anime series Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. It is a successor of the famous RX-78 II Gundam that served in the 1 Year War, with cheaper armor to reduce costs. Technology and combat characteristics. In both purpose and appearance, aside from its color scheme, the RX-178 Gundam Mark II is designed to be a direct descendant of the original RX-78 II Gundam. Weapons-wise, the Gundam Mark II's armaments and optional armament are in essence a reflection of the weapons employed by the original Gundam, though those in themselves are a standard set of weaponry for both Earth Federation and A.E.U.G mobile suits. The only fixed weapons of the two suits are the beam sabers, but the Mark II can carry a Vulcan pod, a shield, a beam rifle, a hyper bazooka, and a clay bazooka if necessary. It also features what had become the standard 360-degree pyromatic screen and linear seat. The multiple panels of the pyromatic screen make up a single 360-degree display which covers the entire inner surface of the round cockpit. The image displayed on the screen is a computer simulation constructed from the cameras distributed around the mobile suit's exterior. A viewpoint that of the mobile suit's head, an image is carefully edited to remove the mobile suit itself. The linear floating seat is suspended in the center of the cockpit, supported by a linear arm, which electronically counters G-force and impact shocks in order to protect the pilot. When used in conjunction with the 360-degree panoramic screen, the linear floating seat also gives the pilot a larger field of view and eliminates blind spots. More importantly, the Gundam Mark II is the first mobile suit to be built utilizing the new maneuverable frame concept. This new concept, rather than placing the armor on top of the mobile suit's internal mechanism, grafts the armor directly to the frame, thus giving the mobile suit the range of joints movements like that of a human being, at the same time reducing the overall weight. It encompasses all the mobile suit's vital mechanisms, thus increasing responsiveness, reliability, and energy efficiency, as well as making it far more agile. For a brief time period, this makes the Gundam Mark II one of the most agile mobile suits available. However, the purpose of the mobile suit was to test the concept, so while the theft of all 3 units was a serious blow to the Titans, it was ultimately not that important, as they already had the data needed to develop more advanced mobile suits. A bit more on the ordnance. Beam sabers. The only fixed ordnance of the suits are 2 beam sabers for close range combat, which, like the ones of the original RX-82 Gundam, were stocked in a rechargeable sacks on the backpack of the suit when they are not needed. While the Titans use the beam sabers of a different type to the Anti-Earth Union Group, A.E.U.G, both types, however, had the power rated at 0.45 megawatts. Since beam rifles are now common equipment to most mobile suits, the Mark II was also equipped with one as its main argument. Again, different types of the rifle were used by the Titans, and the A.E.U.G. Each rifle had its power rated at 2.6 milliwatts and was powered by a replaceable E-pack with two separate E-packs stored in the suit of the shield. The clay bazooka. A projective firing bazooka, as its name indicates, the clay bazooka was originally designed to fire adhesive rounds which immobilize enemy machines rather than destroying them outright. However, this weapon can fire several different types of ammunition and is normally used with conventional exploding shells. Like the hyper bazooka, it was a clip fed and capsule capable of carrying several rounds per clip, plus one round in its chamber. Again, additional chips could be stored on the rear skirt armor storage pack. The hyper bazooka. For heavy firepower, the Mark II could carry a large hyper bazooka which was clip fed and capable of carrying 7 rounds per clip, plus one in the chamber. Additional clips could be stored in the rear skirt armor storage rack. As with nearly all other weapons, different types of the bazooka were used by the two groups. The shield. As with most other mobile suits, the Mark II carried a single physical shield for defense on its left arm. Once again, the Titans and the A.E.U.G use a different shield. A missile launcher containing 3 missiles can be found equipped to the back of the shield as seen in the movies. The Vulcan pod. Although the Mark II didn't mount the standard Vulcan guns on the head, it is able to be outfitted with a 60mm 2-barrel Vulcan pod on its head, capable of carrying a total of 14,000 rounds. The Vulcan guns are housed in the left side with 2 firing ports, while the right side functions as a balancer and magazine. This optional weapon was deployed because in-station space in the head unit could be reserved for mounting of the Vulcan guns. Now, for you of those who have probably realized that I have changed the way that I am building this. No longer am I cutting out the bits from the tray and then putting it together, but I have pre-cut out the bits, laid them out, and then started putting them together. It is a lot more simpler and easier for me to do this for you while recording it than trying to cut it out and build it at the same time. Not only have I done this to help myself, but also I think it improves the entertainment value and the flow of the video. Rather than seeing me struggle taking bits out, you just get the enjoyment of seeing the bits all nicely laid out and being popped together as they are done. Now, a bit more about the history of the Gundam Mark II. The RX-178 Gundam Mark II are 3 prototype mobile suits developed by the Titans in Universal Century 0087. The Gundam Mark II design effectively trended armor and weaponry in favor of increased mobility, a very large factor in melee combat common in mobile suit development. A word of these 3 black and blue painted Gundams reached the anti-Earth Union group. Prototye, Principality of Zeon's infamous Red Comet, led the team which infiltrated the Titan's Green Nova 1 space colony with the help of a young boy, Camille Baron, son of the Gundam 2 principals designer Franken Baron. Quato managed to steal all 3 mobile suits. Following the theft of the Gundams, 2 was sent to Adams Electronics to be dismantled and studied, while the A.E.U.G kept the last one in its service, painting over the dark Titan's color and giving it a naval blue on white color scheme. The Gundam Mark II was given to many of the A.E.U.G's best pilots, including the young rookie Camille Baron, and later former Titans officer Emma Sheen. The Gundam Mark II, with its antiquated titanium and ceramic composition, limited mobility, and weaponry, soon proved ineffective against many of the Titan's new and transformable mobile suits. Yet it would still play a part in many of the A.E.U.G's most important missions, such as the attack on Jarborough or the battle against the MRX-009 Psycho Gundam in Hong Kong. Eventually, to improve performance, the A.E.U. commissioned Atom Electronics to build a new support craft for the Gundam MK-II. Atom Electronics was successful and created the FA-05D G diffuser, a fighter craft that could dock with the Gundam MK-II to create the RX-178 plus FXA-05D Super Gundam, which had superior speed, mobility, and firepower. Despite this upgrade, the Gundam MK-II would still suffer in performance compared to the Titan's latest mobile suits during the final days of the GIFs conflict, and again when it was called to service during the first Neo-Zeo war against Neo-Zeon and the superior mobile suits. During this time, the MK-II was never officially designated a pilot, although it was most often the mobile suit of A.E.U.G. The loss of the G Defender during the GIFs conflicts, combined with A.E.U.G's weak piloting skills, severely downgraded the MK-II's potential. After the end of the first Neon-Zeo war, the Gundam MK-II was severely damaged against the NZ-000 Queen Masala and abandoned by Ellie. It is said that the unit was recovered and repaired, but ultimately retired from service after the A.E.U.G was reabsorbed into the Earth Federation, being put into storage alongside the Zeta Gundam. So yes, that is the history of the Gundam MK-II. Camille, Gundam MK-II, launch! Preparations complete. And there he is, the Gundam MK-II Titan variant. Bit top heavy. As you can see, I have stickered this massive model with all the fine detail possible. Got the shield done, got all the weapons on, including the little Vulcan cannon at the top there with its little stickers on. Got him with the beam rifle. Have in here the beam swords ready to be deployed at a moment's notice. And of course, when I lay him down, do this one-handedly. Shield extends for more shielding there. I hope that you guys enjoyed this build. I certainly enjoyed building it. Until the next one, this is Dave with my Gundams ready to launch.